My name is Nora Haenn, and I teach in Anthropology and International Studies here at NC State. Part of my research looks at Mexican migration to the United States, but it looks at it from the perspective of people living in Mexico and the communities where folks might be leaving. And so I look at how by moving to the States, families in Mexico change. I look at how by having some members in the States, of course their financial situation changes. It puts a huge pressure mainly on marriages. And marriages have to get reorganized to be able to sustain a separation of 4 to 5 years. And as people can probably imagine, that's not an easy thing to do. And so one of the things that migration has brought to the part of Mexico where I work is divorce. And so for the first time, this society is experiencing divorce as a common phenomenon. Last year, I was in Mexico for the academic year on a grant through Fulbright Garcia Robles. So it's a joint grant between the country of Mexico and the United States of America. And I spent the year there talking to people about migration to the United States. Basically talked to everybody. I talked to people who had been to the United States and come back. I talked to people who had family members in the United States. I talked to people who had never been, didn't know anybody, but who had an opinion on the matter. And so we're looking at how migration was affecting a whole society. Just before leaving for Mexico, I applied for a second grant from the National Science Foundation, and that grant is in collaboration with a colleague in Mexico, a geographer who lives and works there full-time, and we collaborated on a survey of 250 households. And in that survey, we're asking people about their farming activities. We work in a rural area. We ask them about their financial situation. We ask them, do they have people in the United States? Do they have people who have maybe migrated to other places? Cancun is a very popular destination site for migrants. And then we ask them their general opinions about migration. Students are looking to teachers for a lot of things. They want you to be smart. They want you to be fair. But they're kind of checking you out to see, is this the kind of person I would want to be? So I do see that I have to be my best self. I don't have to be perfect. I get to be human. But I need to know that students are still kind of figuring things out. They have a lot of faculty they can check out and see if that's how they want to make their life. And I should probably be my best self so that they can make their own decisions. One of the things I'm really insistent both among my colleagues in anthropology and international studies and with my students is an intellectual openness. I really think it's easy to crowd around the popular idea, but I want to avoid that at all costs. And I really want people to be able to think for themselves. I really love teaching classes where students get to do projects on their own. Where I'm overseeing student projects and they're self-driven and they get to express their creativity. So one of the classes I teach is a senior level class where we have 20 students and each one of them is writing an individual research paper on a topic of their choosing. And when they're done with the class, each of them has a 30-page senior thesis. And the topics range right now from diplomacy between North and South Korea, to aid to Africa, is it helping or hurting, to Korean immigration to Japan, really all over the map. One of the things about working in a multilingual community is you just have to decide that you're going to understand this person even if you can't understand what they have to say. And you're going to bridge that gap. This is a thank you for the people in Calakmul in Mexico who have supported my research over the years. Bueno, quiero agradecer a toda la gente de Calakmul en Campeche, en México, por apoyar todas mis investigaciones. Entiendo que no tienen ni idea porque llego a hacer tantas preguntas y meterme en sus vidas, pero han sido súper pacientes conmigo y pues les agradezco muchísimo.